just a boy, just an adolescent child.
Hey, my name's Kahl. I'm the lead singer in the Medics. I grew up in Cairns.
Hi, I'm Jhindu. I play drums in the Medics, and yeah, I also grew up in Cairns, and that's where we all met in high school with also with Charles and Andy, bass player and guitarist.
Well, our band name is called the Medics, and you know, we were pretty young when we started. It's going on almost 6 years ago now. We started out at high school, and it was just one day we were brainstorming ideas for names, and you know, the Medics kind of stuck with us in a sense. You know, I always remember my granddad talking about a famous Gallipoli medic by the name of John Simpson, him and his donkey. He was a famous medic, and I don't know, it's kind of a really good story there in a sense, how he used to kind of save soldiers as he was you know, in the line of fire, and he used to sing to himself and as he was going amongst his duties. So yeah, I don't know, the Medics is a name that's kind of stuck with us.
Yeah,
so.
it's definitely, I mean, we tried changing the name before, but we just couldn't.
Well, yeah, my dad used to play acoustic guitar. I used to listen to a lot of Bob Marley. My mum used to play a little bit of piano and stuff like that, but you know, they always used to play records, and I was around that sort of, that was my kind of first experience with music, was listening to Bob Marley and records. And just, you know, my dad used to play, you know, Triple J back in the day. Growing up, used to listen to that a fair bit. And, my mum used to really like Paul Kelly and the way, you know, she used to play harmonica and, you know, so that sort of stuff. And so, you know, my family were pretty musical, and they loved listening to good music as well. So that kind of helped growing up. And also Jhindu's dad. Yeah,
well, I grew up kind of just going on tour with Dad and stuff, so I've just always had music and doing that around like me. I mean, Dad was always playing at even when I lived back in Coonabone in South Australia. He'd always have like rehearsals in his backyard, and everyone in the whole community would just come out, and it just turned into a whole like kind of like show anyway in the backyard. But I grew up with that, and then slowly when I moved to Cairns, then Mum would always, yeah, exact same thing, play Bob Marley records. I guess then when we all got into high school, then we were exposed to different types of music, and that's where like punk and metal and everything else from our roots and reggae, it kind of we got exposed to everything else, and to this day I still like every single type of music. It's fascinating, and I think that's kind of like our upbringing, which is really good for that. It's one of our traits that we all individually have, is that we're all open to music. We all have listened to, you know, different types of music, and we kind of come together as a band and create something that's got a bit of kind of a unique flavour to it, I suppose, in a sense. Well, because Kahl and I are both cousins, so and growing up in like a musical family, we've always had music, so it just made sense to jam and play together every day. That, you know, because we used to live in the same house at one point, and then eventually took up music classes at school, and then started bands and playing Battle of the Bands together. And I never used to be a drummer. I used to be the guitarist. So now, and then one day, after a few of us playing in a few bands, we just decided to kind of make a really serious band. And yeah. And then we just couldn't find any good drummers. So I said, all right, I'll put my hand up for that. And it went on from there, and we found Andy and Charles, and started jamming. Yeah. So we originally had a keyboard player in the band, and we used to go to her place a lot, and she had like
you know, a PA system set up with drum kits, or drum kit and amps and stuff like that. So we used to go there and
every day after school and just do that. And then we eventually went on to play gigs out of school at pubs every Saturday night, and they loved us there. Oh yeah.
There's a lot of kind of do-it-yourself stuff that we used to do. You know, put on our own gigs, because there was a lot of bands around and people wanting to play their own music, and it was a bit hard to do that in Cairns, so you had to kind of put on your own show. And you know, a lot of the bands got together and performed at you know, people's houses and small little art galleries around Cairns, and you know, it was a really tight-knit group of creative people. You Built Walls to Cover Your Pride is from a lyric out of the song Joseph. Andy, our guitarist, wrote that song, and you know, it's one of our strongest songs that we've had over the last couple of years. It's the song that we usually finish with when we play live. You know, it's got some deeper meanings through Joseph and the Technicolored Coat, through the Bible, but you know, you can always put through
what it means to you.
Yeah, what it means to you. You know, you feel when you listen to songs, you know, there's so many different meanings that you can kind of have for yourself, and as you're listening to music, you know, you find out inner core emotions that kind of how you relate to songs. There are a lot of walls put up as you're growing up. You know, you go through certain stages through your life, and there's a lot of kind of, even in modern day, you know, with the way that music is, and everyone's in their little boxes, you know, they've been created, you know, from, you know, on some certain TV shows that I won't say the name of, but you know, there's all these little kind of boxes that people are in, and we kind of want to break down those barriers and break down walls and kind of make everyone become one in a sense, and just kind of be free. And that's what the Medics is about. You know, we're trying to kind of just be open and not being closed off. We're just trying to be really
it's about our message, and then having people find seeing our message and then conveying it. And I guess we've had the luxury too of growing up in this day and age of not having to fight any sort of racial sort of things in our lives. So that I'm glad that you know, our fathers and our families and have brought us up in a world and that we can really appreciate and be ourselves.
Be able to be free, you know.
I think we're always going to fight it, but you know, be fighting this double standard. But at the end of the day, you know, we just
continue to make great music, and music that can be heard.
And you got to run your own race.
We want to be a band that people can look up to, and a lot of young Indigenous people can look up to and go, okay, there's a band that's kind of achieved things in a sense that have it's kind of the influence of us in a sense, like you can achieve things, you know, you can achieve dreams, and we've just recently got off the back of playing Big Day Out, and that's a dream of ours that we've had for years, and we actually made that happen. And you know, it just goes to show that you can work if you work hard and go through you know, a lot of struggles. There is that light at the end of the tunnel, and you're able to kind of achieve things that you've worked towards, you know.
And anyone can do it. It's, you know, and having said that too, you know, we haven't stopped just at that. We you know, I guess every band's dream is to you know, world domination.